Life's still unfair, but is TV still good? It seems like any show from 20 plus years ago gets some kind of reboot or spin-off nowadays. Girl Meets World, Raven's Home, Fuller House, iCarly, Wizards Beyond Waverly Place. It's actually pretty insane how many there are now that I'm naming them, and those are just the ones that popped right into my head. But Malcolm in the Middle is one show that I actually wanted more of. They could probably make another 100 episodes of Malcolm in the Middle, and I'd probably watch all of it. It's one of the best TV shows ever made in my opinion. It's kind of just perfect. The original series ran for 7 seasons, totaling an impressive 151 episodes, and when it was all over, we were left off with Malcolm graduating high school and going off to college. Lois telling him that he had to become president someday, and Hal and Lois finding out they were pregnant again. I always wondered what happened to Malcolm and the rest of the family after the show ended. And now, 20 years later, with this revival, I can finally find out, I guess. So I had high hopes for this one. But were they really able to capture the same old vibe from the original series? Well, in my opinion, kind of. The show picks up with Malcolm, who now runs his own non-profit and is also a single dad to a teenage daughter named Leia. He has also decided that the best thing for his mental health is to avoid his family at all costs, by always claiming to be too busy with work. And he's avoided them so much over the years that none of them are even aware that he has a daughter. Meanwhile, Hal and Lois are planning a big party to celebrate their 40th anniversary, and they want all their kids to be there. So when Malcolm seems wishy-washy about coming, they show up at his house to talk to him, and surprise, he has a child that they've never met, and hilarity ensues. I actually thought this was a pretty good premise, the family reuniting under wacky and kind of tense circumstances, but even though the setup had good potential here, there are a couple big problems with it. When the parents barge in on Malcolm at the end of the first episode, he takes off running, which I thought was pretty funny. But the parents actually leave and go home, and we don't see them on screen together again until the last episode. Malcolm barely interacts with any of the brothers either throughout the entire 4 episodes. Most of his screen time by far is spent with his daughter and his girlfriend, which are 2 new characters. And that's kind of a weird choice when so much of the original series was about him interacting with Reese and Dewey, or Hal and Lois. And in a Malcolm in the Middle revival, I really wanted more of that, because the family interacting is what made the original so great. Literally, in the final 30 seconds or so, we get a short scene of Malcolm, Reese, and Francis all talking, and that was one of my favorite moments of the entire thing. On a similar note, there's a part where Hal goes to a microdosing lab and ends up tripping balls hardcore for like the entire length of an episode. And even though it was kind of funny, to me it went on for far too long and ended up being a waste of screen time, because I would have rather just seen Hal interacting with other characters than just talking to himself while hallucinating. But one of the best parts of the show was the plotline involving Francis and Piama. They find out she's pregnant, and when he tells Lois they're going to have a baby, she's too preoccupied freaking out over Malcolm's secret daughter and the stress of planning the anniversary party that she doesn't really goddamn give a shit. And Francis takes it extremely personally that she doesn't react excitedly enough for him. Them arguing about this felt like something right out of the OG series. His obsession with his mom's reaction when he should be more concerned with his pregnant wife is peak Francis, and these scenes were some of the best. Dewey was completely underutilized as a character. Even though they had to recast him because the OG actor didn't want to return, the guy they found to replace him looked exactly like Dewey. So I don't know why they didn't give him any actual scenes. He's on a Zoom call the entire time, and at that point, I don't know why they didn't just write him out entirely. Also, why did they force Malcolm to come to their party, but Dewey was off the hook? I don't know. The lighting and camera work on the revival definitely doesn't match the warm vibes in the original either, where you actually felt like you were in their messy living room with them. I don't know why everything has to look so sterile nowadays, but I hated that. And frankly, the whole 40th anniversary party thing felt a little off to me as well. Like, a big party in an event hall with catering and whatnot felt like something that would have been totally out of reach for them in the original series. They could have never afforded that, and I like that they were always broke back in the day. It's one of those things I really liked about the original show that made it so charming and relatable. It made them feel, again, like a real family dealing with real financial struggles like 90% of Americans. And now they're throwing big parties. I don't know, just felt a little weird to me. The party scene is full of cameos from old characters, which on one hand was really awesome to see, but also, canonically, it kind of made no sense why they would invite Francis's old military school friends, or the Krellboynes from Malcolm's elementary school, or a boss Francis had 20 years ago. Even Even Craig for that matter. Is he really a friend? Cause he and Lois were just co-workers and he tried hitting on her constantly. So kind of a weird pick to include him at the anniversary when he tried to disrespect the marriage time and time again. So yeah, the invite list was honestly unhinged. But also, it's really funny to see how many people from the OG series came back. So I'll let that one slide. Overall, I did enjoy Malcolm in the Middle, Life's Still Unfair, but I really wish it had more of the family together on screen. So much time is spent with new characters, like Malcolm's daughter Leia, that it definitely felt like a backdoor pilot for them to make a new show centered around a single dad, Malcolm, and his new family, while maybe incorporating bits and pieces of the old family together through cameos and guest appearances. I thought Francis and the pregnancy storyline fit this theory really well, because if they decide to make more episodes, we could see him and Piyama learning how to be parents and stuff too. Apparently, the Malcolm in the Middle revival hit 8.1 million views in just 3 days, making it Disney Plus and Hulu's biggest premiere of the year. So I wonder if that shows enough interest. I wonder if they will continue and make more episodes. I guess I hope so. Even though it wasn't perfect, if this does get picked up for more, I'll definitely be watching. But enough of me yapping. What do you guys think of Malcolm in the Middle, Life's Still Unfair? Do you think it holds a candle to the original series? Or did you not even fucking watch the original series? Let me know how you're feeling in the comments, and let's kick it. Alright, thanks for listening.